In the convergence of games, movies, anime, comics, and more, Transformers Prime stands as a multi-dimensional masterpiece that transcends boundaries and delves into the intricate realms of socio-political discourse. As a content creator learning to navigate these diverse domains, this animated opus is a fount of inspiration that I've talked about in the past, but in War and Peace, knowledge truly is power. Let's talk about the expansive landscape of Transformers Prime, creators and animation. Steered by Dwayne Capizzi and Jeff Klein, Transformers Prime achieves its visual grandeur through the remarkable craftsmanship of Polygon Pictures. The synthesis of cutting-edge CGI and traditional animation forms a visual marvel that captivates both aesthetically and emotionally, making every frame a canvas for introspection. You probably recognize their work and don't even know it, from Western shows like Tron Uprising and Star Wars The Clone Wars to anime like Arcee and Demi-Human, which I infamously love. They have quite the pedigree under their belt, and the expressive emotions and explosive battles make it impossible to bring up the characters without the ones that brought them to life. Part 1. Autobots. Cliffjumper and Tailgate, the echoes of valor and impact. Cliffjumper, originally voiced by The Rock, then Billy Brown in flashbacks, shares the same fate as Tailgate in terms of becoming Arcee's partner and then dying as well. Cliffjumper's death held far more impact though, lingering not only as trauma for Arcee, but as a reminder of valor and sacrifice, an embodiment of the impact that a soul can have on the world and the people inhabiting it, even as their body ceases to function. Both of their presence throughout the series, in any form, resonates with themes of remembrance, the significance of individual actions, and the lasting reverberations of bravery. They also stand as a lasting idea that in war, death is right around the corner. The moment you take a step too far by yourself, it may very well be the last. Cliff's martyrdom sets the tone for what the series wants to be, as I've talked about already, so go check that video out after this one. The biggest complaint I have for both these characters are their limitations. Cliffjumper's death set things up and was a necessary route to take, but both his and Tailgate's existence is limited to a singular act: death. The sacrifices they made, especially Cliffjumper's, overshadow their potential for any multifaceted exploration, inhibiting a more comprehensive understanding, and by the time they try with Cliff, he's been dead for so long it's hard to even care. I loved the flashback episode, but I understand why so many saw it as mere filler and nothing more. Optimus Prime, the beacon of morality and leadership. Optimus Prime, voiced by the legend Peter Cullen, transcends mere characterization, embodying sacrifice, honor, and empathy. His ethical compass and unwavering leadership reflect the real-world heroes who navigate adversity with conviction. Optimus himself leads to discussions on moral leadership, ethical quandaries, and the equilibrium between authority and compassion. Above all though, he's no mere military leader, but a father figure as well, truly having love for friend and foe, although he struggles to show it and at times hates to admit it. He would rather die than end the life of someone he believes could be saved, and would rather save someone than watch them die, leaving him at odds with the ethical question of, do soldiers commit murder? He stands as a strong answer to that question. A true soldier, a true warrior, doesn't fight to kill those in front of him, but instead they fight to defend the ones behind them. He's a prime example of that. Arcee, a symphony of strength and tragedy. Arcee, voiced with great range by Sumali Montano, is an intrepid Autobot warrior, defying one-dimensional portrayals, encapsulating layers of complexity as she wrestles with loss and the desire for vengeance. Her journey mirrors the interplay of personal trauma and the pursuit of justice. Arcee's character unfurls dialogues about the profound impact of trauma, the nuances of healing, and the blurred lines between retribution and righteousness. Her character's size and speed mirror how quickly bravery can switch to stupidity whenever she gets emotional. Not keeping those emotions in check may lead to some unfortunate consequences throughout the series, but it also shows the dangers of constantly bottling everything up, just waiting to erupt at the wrong moment. She's overprotective due to loss, alienates herself out of fear, and is always fighting an uphill battle with her confidence as Survivor's Guilt anchors her down like shackles, waiting for the moment to drag her down. Those heavy emotions could be argued to have pigeonholed her into a trope rather than allowed her to transcend it, but the fact that she drags that pain around, that emotional weight she constantly carries, yet still moves as fast as she does, I argue that that alone gives hope to everyone living with the question of, what if I could have saved? Bulkhead, the towering bastion of empathy and valor. Bulkhead, voiced with a deep innocence by Kevin Michael Richardson, is the gentle giant of the Autobots. Merging strength and compassion in a singular embodiment, his journey mirrors unity and compassion, acting as a metaphor for bridging societal divides. The authenticity of his relationships and his willingness to embrace vulnerability provide a platform for discussions on camaraderie, diversity, and the transformative power of authentic connections. His brute strength always means well, making someone who may be frightening due to their size, as seen in the first episode, into a perfect example of don't judge a book by its cover. His greater weight and reduced speed does a good job balancing out Arcee's smaller size yet greater speed, showing why working as a team is important, and that every strength has a weakness and every weakness has its strength. Once he gets injured, he's a good example of the powerlessness felt due to situations out of one's control, and when Smokescreen comes into play, what it's like to feel replaced by the ones we hold dear. Sensitivity doesn't mean lacking in strength, and Bulkhead is a great example of that. His naivety and unwavering trust may at times come off as unrealistic in a complex universe of intrigue and war, but if Hacksaw Ridge taught us anything, it's that heart can stand the test of time, as well as the trials that come along with it. Ratchet, the ethical nexus of technological advancement. Ratchet, voiced masterfully by veteran actor Jeffrey Combs, is the Autobot medic, serving as a moral compass amid the currents of technological evolution. His skepticism toward Megatron's use of Dark Energon and his cautious approach to scientific exploration mirror ethical dilemmas of scientific progress. Ratchet's arc becomes fertile ground for exploring bioethics, the ethical dimensions of technological growth, and the delicate equilibrium between innovation and recklessness. This is shown with a great example that tackles addiction figuratively and literally. Ratchet becomes obsessed with the idea that he doesn't contribute like the other members of Team Prime do, that he doesn't measure up. So in a bid to find a way to make up for what he sees as drawbacks, he develops synthetic energon. This synth then makes him, as the episode name implies, stronger and faster, but more importantly, it boosts his confidence as well as his ego. Ratchet becomes someone almost unrecognizable when on that high, someone dangerous not only to others but to himself. As he grows accustomed to the energon, the effects start to dwindle a little, causing him to literally shoot up again. The danger to this gets shown almost perfectly, as Megatron severely injures a Ratchet in over his head. It mirrors the effects of drug addiction on humans, and that you can only go so high to outrun your lows, till your life can be in grave danger. That last hit may very well be the last thing you do. Bumblebee, triumph of expression and individual growth. Bumblebee's distinctive communication style, which is beeps and gestures, demolishes communication barriers. His transformation from a silent scout to a symbol of personal growth embodies the journey of an individual overcoming challenges. He spawns discussions on identity, inclusivity, and the profound potential of nonverbal communication. He's also a muscle car, which, as I said in that video I brought up earlier, the more notable one though is B and Wrath. They are racing each other, but within a safe space. Raph is playing with a controller as Bee plays with his own steering wheel, using his monitor as a screen. This shows Raph's reserved nature, a stark contrast to the others, while also displaying how much Bee enjoys Raph's company. Bee is a muscle car. His speed means a lot to him, but he's willing to slow down if only to be on the same wavelength as Raph. Wheeljack and Smokescreen. The dance of recklessness and heroism. Wheeljack and Smokescreen, the audacious Autobots, epitomize the spectrum of recklessness and heroism. Their choices reflect the risks inherent in societal endeavors, echoing the calculated risks individuals take. Wheeljack and Smokescreen set the stage for themes of courage, calculated risk-taking, and the myriad of shades of bravery embedded in individual actions. Wheeljack in particular takes big risks, not because he doesn't know those risks, but because at times he seems to welcome them. It could be in relation to the deaths of the other wreckers, ones that he couldn't prevent, that gives him the death wish that he seems to have. He's also a great example of circumstances making the person instead of the person steering the circumstances. He still has some of his scientific intelligence that he's known for.
The only thing I require right now is some hull sealant. Trust me. The jackhammer here is in more need of repair than me.
Specializing in mechanical science, while also being a wrecker. He has no intention of being a hero and seems to enjoy fixing over breaking, but adapted to the war, specializing in both. He's a gruff veteran who's seen more than we would believe and has sacrificed a part of himself to do it. Smokescreen, on the other hand, voiced by Nathan Drake, Nolan North, is courageously stupid at first. However, based on the fact that he wants to be a hero, which is the antithesis of Wheeljack, that's because Smokescreen doesn't have the experience that Jackie does. In fact, he's a rookie that managed to avoid the very war he wants to fight in. They are both recklessly brave in their own right, but they show far different perspectives on the matter of war. A rookie wants to become a veteran, but no veteran worth their salt wants a rookie to go through what they already have. Ultra Magnus, stoic guardian of virtue and sacrifice. Ultra Magnus, strongly voiced by Michael Ironside, is the resolute Autobot guardian embodying unwavering devotion to virtue and sacrifice. The actor was the perfect choice for the role by last name alone, and he lives up to that greatly. Ultra Magnus' steadfast commitment to duty mirrors the resolve of real-world figures who stand firm in adversity. He catalyzes discussions about duty's demands, the intricacies of sacrifice, and the moral fortitude required to uphold integrity. He's a grand example of tough love, that just because someone is telling hard truths or upholding strict laws doesn't mean that they don't care, and that they may be tough due to the fact that they do. He's a good comparison of a parent telling you you're not allowed to go play in the road at night. Sure, it sounds like a fun thing to do, but the strictness against it may be the reason that you're still alive. He's also a good example of the more traditionalist people among us, the far more conservative folk, the if it ain't broke don't fix it mentality. And he shows that it has its own strengths in various situations. Him adjusting to Optimus's style of leading also demonstrates getting out of your comfort zone. Adapting to some things may prove that change isn't always a bad thing. Primus, the cosmic architect of creation and harmony. Primus is practically God to the Transformers, in this incarnation anyway, embodying the concept of harmony and the pursuit of equilibrium. Primus' very existence brings into question themes of creation, purpose, fate, destiny, and the perpetual state of differing cosmic forces that shape the very fabric of the Autobots' existence. If you'd like to know more about that, you'll have to wait till my next video where we dive into the very nature of the Decepticons / foils to the Autobots. Till then though, for more news, reviews, and whatever we choose, stay tuned to Nerdsfeed. Have a great day.